Hey everyone! Welcome to my channel B&B Glow. When Nick returns, he gives Brooke a stunning kiss, and Luna spies on Hayes. Brooke informed Hope that Taylor and Ridge are only temporary, while Luna explained to Remy her plan to hold Steffi accountable. Ridge and Brooke are employed at Forrester. She assures him that everything he makes is flawless while he complains about a shipment of silk. She wants he will accompany her home since she enjoys seeing him work. In the morning, she also needs someone to bring her coffee. He reminds her that he is now with Taylor and that she makes him happy, even if Brooke advises him to quit delaying the inevitable. Brooke puts some pants on. Nick shocks her by sneaking in when she is fixing herself in the mirror. He tells her she looks lovely as she puts on some clothing. He thought he would stop by while he was in town. They discuss the success of his business. Naples is where he is having his new boat made. His company is currently headquartered there. Nick asks if she's happy as they talk about their son's progress. Ridge returned to Taylor, he heard. It does not excite her. He believes it had something to do with the takeover. Brooke complains but says she's okay. Nick is unsure of Ridge's condition. Ridge will never change, he says, so she should adjust her course and pick up anchor. He tells her she deserves better while stroking her hair. He feels at home when he sees her. Reminding her that they were an excellent match, Nick begins to serenade her. They reminisce about their wedding and romance. Taylor is informed that she is always welcome at Eric's. She felt that he wanted his son to get back together with Brooke after the events at the fashion show. He expresses his admiration for her. She is aware that he continues to believe his son ought to be with the other lady. Before Eric can address this, Ridge arrives. Eric leaves to visit Donna. Ridge is informed by Taylor that she made his father uncomfortable over the fashion event. He claims his father only wants him to be content. There is nothing to be concerned about because he is. Does he miss being with Brooke? She wonders. She fears that what transpired at the fashion presentation sparked sentiments for Brooke because it looked so planned. It was simply work, he claims. She was there when he got home. Steffi and Finn at the Cliff House express their gratitude to Liam for establishing the art school at the beach home after the school was destroyed by wildfires. Liam receives his toy robot from Hayes. Liam begins speaking in a robotic voice because he enjoys it. He is invited to school by the child. Hayes introduces his instructor, Miss Dillon, to Liam, Steffi, and Finn when they arrive at the beach house. Liam's assistance in setting things up is appreciated by the teacher. As Steffi continues to emphasize how crucial it is to keep the children safe, he enthusiastically shakes her hand. A figure in the long grass casts a shadow against the building. Hayes sketches an image of Liam and him surfing. The instructor gathers the students to go to the beach and observe the marine life. After telling Steffi and Finn how awesome their child is, Liam starts talking endlessly about how his goal in life is to keep them safe. They are being spied on. They are attempting to get Liam to stop tripping over Luna. He is unable to do so and continues to babble about Luna being like a little witch who just shows up. When Hayes returns, he reports seeing a seal. Liam tells Finn not to undervalue Luna as he displays it to his mother through the window. Baby, Nick is back. Brooke and Nick were both taken aback. Fan favorite Nick Marone's unexpected return to Los Angeles on June 16 sent shockwaves through Brooke Logan's and the Forrester family's life, escalating the tension on the bold and the beautiful to explosive new heights. In an unexpected turn of events, Nick's abrupt return left Brooke speechless, and Nick was also in for some surprises. Emotional conflicts, long-kept secrets, and the kind of soap opera turns that keep audiences riveted to their televisions were all included in this episode. As the episode began, Brooke was in her Forrester Creations office talking to Ridge about business when an unexpected guest, her ex-husband Nick Marone, the father of her son Jack, walked in. Nick gave Brooke that recognizable smirk, obviously taking pleasure in the surprise on her face, and her mouth fell open. Brooke, do you miss me? Ridge instantly went into defense mode as he teased. Unflappable, Ridge straightened his shoulders and demanded to know why Nick was back in town after all these years. The tension between the two men was evident, a reminder of their long-standing struggle for Brooke's affections, and Nick, ever the smooth talker, simply responded, I had some unfinished business to take care of. However, Nick's homecoming was about more than just rekindling old feelings, it was also about family. When Brooke discovered he was there to re-establish contact with their son Jack, who had been inquiring more about his father, his abrupt return sent her into a tailspin. Since her son was older, Brooke could not deny him the opportunity to get to know his father, even if she had kept Nick at a distance for years out of concern for his impact on Jack. Viewers witnessed Brooke's rare moment of vulnerability as she battled between doing the right thing and protecting her son, and the emotional toll of the situation took a toll on her. Nick, meantime, was going to be shocked to see how much Jack had changed and how much he had missed. Nick's realization of the repercussions of his absence made for poignant and melancholy encounters with Jack. Naturally, visiting former enemies would be a must-do while returning to Los Angeles, and Nick's first meeting with Taylor Hayes was nothing short of combustible. Given her newfound intimacy with Ridge, Taylor, who had a troubled past with Nick, was not overly happy to see him return to town. She didn't take long to caution him from interfering with Ridge's or Brooke's lives. Never one to back down, Nick responded with a few scathing remarks of his own, assuring Taylor that he had every right to be there. There will be even more drama in the upcoming episodes because of the intense verbal fighting between the two. Steffi and Finn, meanwhile, were caught in the crossfire of Nick's comeback. Steffi was dubious of Nick's intentions right away because she was always protective of her family. While Finn, ever the voice of reason, said that perhaps Nick deserved a chance to prove himself, she cautioned Brooke not to allow him to control her emotions. As alliances started to change, the conflicting viewpoints inside the Forrester household only made matters worse. Brooke and Nick ultimately shared a private moment at the end of the episode, which was full with unresolved feelings and raw emotion. Nick, shedding his typical charm, said that he had been doing a lot of introspection when Brooke insisted on knowing the true reason he had returned. He admitted, "I'm not the same man I was when I left." Brooke, caught between doubt and optimism, couldn't help but notice the sincerity in his eyes as he said, "I want to make things right, with you, with Jack, with everyone." Fans questioned whether this was the beginning of a new chapter for Brooke and Nick because of their obvious chemistry. Or was it inevitable that history would repeat itself? The relationships in Los Angeles have altered forever since Nick returned to the scene. His return has rekindled long-standing rivalries, revealed suppressed feelings, and created the conditions for exciting new plots. Brooke's entire life has been upended, and Nick is rapidly coming to terms with the fact that returning will require him to face the repercussions of his past. The drama is only getting started, that much is clear. One thought lingered in the minds of viewers as the credits rolled: what will Nick do next? More significantly, how will Ridge, Brooke, and the other Forresters respond to his unannounced return? The episode that aired on June 16th was revolutionary and demonstrated why The Bold and the Beautiful is still the best daytime soap. Everything will never be the same now that Nick is back, sweetie. Brooke gives Finn's family a passionate kiss while Luna stalks them. After completing a call at Forrester, Ridge informs Brooke that he placed an order for Silk. She says she enjoys seeing him create, and they talk about his works. But that's the only place she sees him. "I sincerely hope you'll accompany me home." Throughout Nick's summer plot, there are 5 bold and beautiful things that must be delivered. At the house, Brooke tells Ridge that she misses him while pulling his lapels. She begs him to quit being obstinate and come home, saying, "I just want you." Although he is currently with Taylor, Ridge assures her that he will always love her. He leaves after saying, "She makes me happy." Brooke Ridge bed and breakfast. Taylor's inquiries. Taylor tells Eric at the Forrester mansion how kind it is of him to let her and Ridge stay at his house. She knows he set up the fashion show showstopper stunt, so she hopes they are not at odds. Does he genuinely think Brooke and Ridge are a good fit? Taylor, whom Eric adores, maintains that she is merely interested and not insecure. "You still believe that Brooke is the right fit for your son, don't you?" Although he also cares for Taylor, Eric acknowledges that he has a special spot for Brooke. He is aware of his son's intense devotion for her. Although Taylor is aware that Ridge adores her, she questions whether Eric anticipated anything from the showstopper plan. Before Eric can respond, Ridge enters. After his father exits the room, Taylor informs him that she confronted him about the showstopper. "Does he believe that you and Brooke ought to get back together?" Taylor is assured by Ridge that there is nothing to be concerned about. If he misses Brooke, Taylor asks. Ridge claims to collaborate with her. "You know what I'm asking, Ridge," squints Taylor. She wishes this didn't annoy her, but Brooke had his father's assistance. Ridge claims that since it was his fashion show, he had to work well with others. Taylor questions whether it rekindled past sentiments for Brooke and believes it was a deliberate move. According to Ridge, it was merely work. He returned home to her after it was finished. They begin kissing. Luna lurches while Liam worries. Finn, Steffi, and Liam are speaking at the Cliff home when Hayes shows up, prepared for his new school at the beach. Finn thanks Liam, and Hayes applauds, saying, "Thanks, Liam." When he gives him one of his toys, Liam is quite excited about it. Liam is asked to accompany Hayes to drop him off at school. Steffi is in awe of the adorable classroom at the seaside school. Hayes goes to see his buddies after being welcomed by the teacher. The instructor expresses gratitude to Liam for providing the kids with such a lovely setting, the house. She requests that he also thank his father. Steffi and Finn are excited to watch their boy develop and to keep him safe. A dark figure hovers outside. Finn kneels down to see that his son and Liam are in the artwork that Hayes is doing. Steffi urges Hayes to pay attention to Miss Dillon when the teacher announces they're heading to the beach. Liam reflects on the day when he won't be able to be there for Kelly and Beth and tells Finn and Steffi what a great kid he is. His entire bucket list right now is to keep kids safe. Someone outside uses binoculars to look. Liam is asked by Steffi to put Luna out of his mind. This time, Finn is certain that it has finally dawned on him that she is not welcome. Liam is aware that they cannot be certain. This terrifies him more than his own death. He won't stop her since she is insane and delusional. She simply appears, like a tiny witch. Liam is reassured by Finn that he will protect them. To show Steffi a seal, Hayes dashes back inside and leads her to the window. Finn should not undervalue Luna, Liam whispers to him, especially after he is no longer available to assist. Luna observes Steffi and Hayes outside and casts a menacing glance. Luna B&B. The big surprise for Brooke. Someone enters the Forrester office when Brooke is testing on one of the new lingerie designs. It's Nick Marone, but she thinks it's Ridge. Well, some things never change, he laughs. Nick informs Brooke that he was in Los Angeles and desired to pay her a visit. He tells her she looks lovely as she gives him a hug. They talk about Marone Industries. He has had great success in the shipping sector. When she inquires as to whether he still owns the Shady Marlin, he replies that he is having a new yacht built in Naples, and she will need to visit to view it. If their son Jack is able to join them, Brooke asks. According to Nick, he is unlikely to leave Paris. Instead of shipping, Jack chose to follow in his mother's footsteps. The fact that Brooke is a fashionista makes him laugh. He discovered his niche, and Nick is proud of him. Brooke concurs that when she video chats with him, he appears content. Nick questions whether she's content because he's heard that Ridge returned to Taylor. Nick Brooke B&B. Nick inquires as to why he left this time. It was the takeover, he supposes. She finds it surprising that he is aware of that. Nick monitors the people he cares about. Nick laughs as Brooke shrugs and says, "I'm fine." He screams that she has been repeatedly harmed by this man. Occasionally, you must alter your path and cease navigating the ship into the storm's eye. He won't change, Brooke, and you deserve so much better. Nick caresses her face, saying, "So much better." Even though Nick is aware that they haven't seen one another in a while, it feels familiar. After singing to her, he tells her that they had a fantastic relationship. They kiss passionately after reminiscing about past pleasant times. They then look directly into one another's eyes. According to spoilers for the upcoming 3 weeks of The Bold and the Beautiful, which run from June 16th to July 4th, Nick Marone will kiss Brooke Logan while Luna Nozawa upends Steffi Forrester's world. After receiving some unfavorable news, I hope Logan will also be terrified, therefore let's discuss all the action. To begin with, the first indications of conflict between Ridge Forrester and Taylor Hayes would appear over the week of June 16th to 20th. That ought to be somewhat due to Ridge's tendency to become possessive when Nick rekindles his romance with Brooke. Nick will give Brooke a kiss and show her how wonderful they could be together again when her ex-boyfriend returns to Los Angeles and lavishes her with attention. After Nick seduces her, Brooke will obviously need someone to confide in, so she will tell Katie Logan, Heather Tom, all the juicy details and get her firm opinion. When Steffi attempts to bring Daphne Rose back from Paris, Hope will have her own strong opinions. Hope will be upset about Steffi contacting Daphne about a return since she fears the worst for her engagement to Carter Walton. Will Daphne reject Steffi or come to the conclusion that she is correct about a LA comeback? In any event, Hope will not want Daphne to become obsessed with Carter and cause more trouble. Luna will watch Hayes Finnegan in the interim until she's prepared to attack. Luna will begin attempting to entice Hayes into her web of kidnapping as soon as she gives him a gift. Steffi's world might be turned upside down by the week of June 23rd to 27th because all the clues point to Luna stealing Hayes shortly. If Luna calls to make sure she has Hayes, Steffi might feel concerned after seeing his gone. Hayes might serve as bait for whatever lethal trap Luna has in store for Steffi. Steffi might need to travel alone to a meeting with Luna and keep John Finnegan in the dark if she wants to ensure Hayes escapes this situation. Steffi will have to follow Luna's regulations, but there will undoubtedly be ways to get in the way. Is there anything Remy Price can tell Sheila Sharp that could help save the day? Nick should continue to irritate Ridge and draw Brooke closer in other places. The more Brooke lets Nick into her heart, the more Ridge will question whether he was wrong to let her go. Since Ridge and Taylor are undoubtedly moving in that direction, their breakup could occur over the week of June 30th to July 4th. In the end, Taylor will have to come to terms with the fact that Brooke will always hold a special place in Ridge's heart, so she could decide it would be better to simply let him go. We ought to discuss Liam Spencer's deteriorating health as well. Will Liam eventually heed Hope's counsel and inform his loved ones of his terminal illness? In any case, B&B spoilers indicate that additional people will eventually become entangled in Luna's chaos. Liam and Finn might end up working together on a rescue mission as a result of Hayes' disappearance and Steffi probably going missing to retrieve him. Stay tuned for updates on all of Luna's nefarious tactics, as spoilers for The Bold and the Beautiful indicate that she will go completely crazy over the course of the next 3 weeks. Ridge versus Nick. The struggle for Brooke's heart resurfaces. Things have already been upended by Nick Marone's return, but the real fireworks are only getting started. Ridge and Nick's antagonism escalates to explosive new heights throughout the course of the following 2 weeks as they fight over Brooke. Never one to divulge, Ridge makes it apparent that he views Nick as a danger and is unwilling to allow the past to happen again. Nick, however, is refusing to back down and is telling Ridge that Brooke is an adult who is capable of making her own decisions. The two men almost fight in the midst of Forrester creations as their verbal sparring rapidly turns into a physical battle. Between the man she's created a life with and the man she once loved, Brooke finds herself trapped in the midst. Taylor, meanwhile, observes from the sidelines, secretly enjoying the mayhem, until she understands that Nick's presence might help strengthen the bond between Brooke and Ridge. Jack finds himself torn between his father and Ridge as the tension increases, and Brooke is forced to choose between shielding her son from the drama and allowing Nick to return to their life. One man will emerge victorious at the end of the 2 weeks, but at what price? Ridge Forrester's intense animosity towards Nick Marone's comeback reveals his unwavering fixation with Brooke Logan, and no one can see it more plainly than Taylor Hayes, which has escalated the tension on The Bold and the Beautiful. As she sees history unfold before her eyes in the most recent dramatic episodes, Taylor's wordless responses and desperate face convey a lot. Despite his present relationship with Taylor, Ridge's explosive wrath, territorial behavior, and reluctance to let go of Brooke paint a disturbingly familiar picture. Resignation, despair, and silent rage are all there on Taylor's face as the ever-disgraceful doctor finds herself playing second fiddle to Brooke in Ridge's heart once more. Ridge's response was prompt and strong as soon as Nick returned to Los Angeles. His eyes darkened, his jaw tightened, and his whole manner changed into one of protection, not for his family or his company, but for Brooke. Whether it's a friendly chat at work or a private time at the mansion, every connection between Nick and Brooke drives Ridge into a tailspin. His passion is so obvious that even Steffi and Thomas look at each other uneasily, seeing how toxic their father's obsession is. However, the real burden of Ridge's emotional inaccessibility falls on Taylor. Her look changes from one of patient understanding to one of calm devastation as she watches him lose himself in jealousy. She's been here too many times and is well aware of how this tale concludes. Ridge and Nick almost fight after a heated altercation at Forrester Creations, which serves as the tipping point. Never one to back down, Nick taunts Ridge by bringing up Brooke's previous love for him. Nick smirks and says, "Face it, Ridge, she'll always have a piece of her heart that belongs to me." Ridge responds right away. His fury reveals the reality he has been trying so hard to hide. He still finds the thought of Brooke with someone else intolerable. He lunges, but Carter and Finn stop him. Taylor observes it all from a few feet away, her face a picture of subdued hopelessness. The slow, shattering realization that Ridge will always be devoured by Brooke, regardless of how much time passes or how many second chances they get, is all that is present. There is no shouting or dramatic eruption. Taylor's self-awareness adds to the tragedy of this moment. Being a psychiatrist, she is aware of the psychology underlying Rich's actions, including his possessiveness, unresolved emotions, and incapacity to give his all to anybody other than Brooke. She is aware of this, yet she is helpless to break the cycle. She is sick of being the consolation prize, even though she has always loved Rich. Taylor ultimately expresses her worries in a private conversation with Steffi. "I thought this time would be different. I believed that we were not the same." However, once Brooke is in the picture, he doesn't care about anything else. Steffi, who is protective of her mother, tells her to leave before history repeats itself, but Taylor is hesitant. Is it love that keeps her going, or is it just her dread of losing? Brooke, meanwhile, continues to be incredibly unaware of the mayhem she is creating. Though her lingering looks and sentimental smiles imply otherwise, she maintains that Nick's return is solely for the sake of co-parenting Jack. Rich's relationship with Taylor is increasingly strained every time he sees one of these instances because his envy erupts. The contradiction is obvious. Although Rich blames Nick for upsetting him, the true issue is his own unresolved emotions. The lady who has supported him through all of his highs and lows, Taylor, is left to pick up the pieces of his emotional mess. As the week goes on, Taylor finds himself at a turning point. She addresses Rich head-on in a potent sequence, her eyes displaying her suffering while her voice remains firm. She claims that although you claim to be over her, your behavior betrays a different reality. "I should be chosen first, not battling ghosts from the past." Taken by surprise, Rich stumbles through protestations, but Taylor doesn't believe him. She thinks of leaving for the first time in years, not because she's angry, but because she wants to respect herself. Will Rich's obsession with Brooke cause him to lose the one woman who has always truly loved him, or will he finally wake up and stand up for Taylor? Regarding Taylor, will she have the fortitude to permanently escape this destructive cycle? There's no denying that Taylor's desperate expression speaks for itself. Despite Rich's denial, she sees the reality. Additionally, she might decide not to continue playing second fiddle this time.